My name is Tiffany Nashville. I'm a member of Friendly Temple, educator for 16 years, I guess. Yeah, mother of two. I'm a writer as well. I've written for St. Louis American. I've written for and I'm here now with Kenny Powell just to talk to you guys about voting. So share with them your credentials.
Well, thank you for the introduction. My name is Kenneth Powell. I'm the managing partner of the Powell Law Firm based here in St. Louis, a minority-owned law firm. We represent folks who have been hurt or treated like dirt. So serious injuries, workers' compensation, as well as employment discrimination matters are kind of our strike zone. We pride ourselves on really working hard for our clients and then putting money and serving the African-American community of St. Louis. Fourth generation professional here. My grandfather, great-grandfather were physicians here. Dr. Jerome Williams in St. Louis was everybody's doctor back in the day. My dad, Dr. Powell, was everybody's dentist. And so my mom has been an educator like yourself, Miss Nashville. My mom, Diane Powell, taught at Ladue High School, taught English for many, many years, 27 years. So service is in my blood, and I'm happy to be here to discuss voting rights at this most important time in our country.
Definitely. So one of the questions that we are here to talk about is just the ways in which people vote. So electronic is an option, writing your choices is an option. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. So you do have several options right now. At this point, at this late stage of the game, what I'm telling people is to vote now. Don't wait. We see some of the things that are going on right now. It's very important that you go to your local election office and vote in person. I'm like I said, vote early, vote in person. If you can. Now everybody can't do that. People have health conditions and whatnot that don't allow them to vote in person. But if you can vote early, go as soon as possible. There are 3 places in St. Louis that are the election offices. So if you are a county resident, then you're going to go to Northwest Plaza. That's 7725 Northwest Plaza Drive, 63074. If you are a city resident, then you're just going to go to 300 North Tucker and vote there. St. Charles is, 397 Turner Boulevard. If you're a St. Charles resident, 63101. So that's the number one thing is I would recommend that you not wait until election day. The lines are going to be hopefully really, really long. But the second thing is when you do go to vote, I would try to see if you can get a paper ballot. Because the electronic ballot, and I know maybe getting ahead of myself, we may be discussing that shortly. But
no, I can jump into that. I can start to share my screen of that as well.
Sure.
So keep talking. Sample ballot.
Yeah. So vote early, in person, not by mail if you can avoid it, and use a paper ballot. My great aunt down in South Carolina just went to vote, and she was voting, Democratic, and did the straight ticket. And she had to do it twice. And the senator that she was trying to vote for yesterday, Jamie Harrison, was not listed on the results, even though she had voted straight Democratic. And it took her 3 times to actually process a vote for him. And this was her doing it in person. So, she did it electronically, though, in person. And so if you can, go ahead and take the extra time to just fill in your ballot. To take the electronic glitches out of the equation.
Yeah, I was given that tidbit a few years ago. I go early too. I've been going early since the Obama administration. Yes. So get it. I got mine done last week.
Very good. Very good.
I paused here. I'm on stlouis-missouri.gov, and this is where people for the city can find theirs. But there's also the same type of sample ballot for St. Louis County.
Yes,
Judges, that's my next question. They
absolutely.
are plentiful. Where can people go to find out more about the judges on the ballot?
Sure. So, uh, that's something that we're always trying to get information out. We being the Mound City Bar, I'm on the executive board of the Mound City Bar uh, Association. And the best website that you can go to is yourmissouri.judges.org. So yourmissouri.judges.org is going to be a great website where you can go and go check it out.
Mhm.
yourmissouri.judges.org.
Yeah, pop right up.
There you go. And so as you scroll down, it will show you all of, if you go to judges,
Mhm.
it breaks down all of the courts. And um, if you continue scrolling, it should be able to,
Oh yeah, review by circuit.
yes. And then you can go to all of the different judges and just
City and
scroll.
county, yeah.
Exactly. So if you want to click on either one of those, and it literally will then go and you can see the every single judge who is up for any type of performance review, and you'll see whether they have excuse me, whether they have met or the standards or not. And so this year, we're proud to say that all of the judges have met uh, the standards, which is great.
Okay, good.
So you can click on any of these judges, and then it will educate you on their records, who they are, their background, etc.
Mhm.
Just kind of gives you more information about them.
Okay, cool.
Sure.
Let's see. We kind of talked about this question, I guess, with avoiding long lines.
Yes.
Somebody who's still trying to mail in, would you suggest that? Or is it best that they still just do their best to go and vote in person?
So if you've already requested a mail-in ballot, due to the reasons articulated, that you're not going to be able to actually vote in person, etc., then I still think I personally am telling people to vote now, vote in person, and to do it with a paper ballot. If that is not an option for you, then absentee is definitely an option, and you can mail in your ballot or drop it off. But I just don't trust the mail right now. I just think that it's
I
best to put it
agree.
into their hands because there's too much shenanigans going on. Uh,
Yeah,
so just try to cut out that middle person and put your vote into the actual ballot box.
I agree with that.
And in terms of that, in terms of avoiding long lines, whichever election office you go to, be it in the county at Northwest Plaza, or the city at 300 North Tucker, or St. Charles at 397 Turner Boulevard, what I would suggest is go in off-peak times. So you're not going to want to go during lunch. You're not going to want to go right after work if you can avoid it. Try to ideally try to be there when it opens, so that you can get in and get out.
Mhm.
But if you have to go during lunch, because that's the only time you could go, then go during lunch. Do what you have to do to exercise this most important right that we have.
I agree. And something that the city location has added, I should have had it pulled up already. They
Mhm.
have 4 locations at libraries right now. I saw that on their main page, just giving some off-site. I don't think I can find it this quick. I wish I was already prepared with it. But they
You're fine.
have off-site locations available for city residents. So that's something that you can look for on their website, because I did see it there. I screenshot it for a friend in the city.
Mhm. Mhm.
So that is another choice. Um,
And I'm not 100% sure. I would recommend that if you're a city resident, uh, there's a phone number that you can call, a 622-4336,
mhm.
to ask questions, because exactly there it is,
Yes.
4336. See, you can see I know what I'm talking about. Uh, the uh, the I'm not 100% sure if each one of those locations are full service in terms of being able to vote in person, absentee or not. I'm not 100% sure of that. So I would recommend that you call. I know for a fact that you can do it at 300 North Tucker.
There you go. And again, all this information is online, right at our fingertips.
Yes.
The big ticket items being discussed a lot that's on the city and county ballot is Amendment. And it seemed loaded upon my initial read, but I also read it and was like, this doesn't really seem like a major deal. But then I started seeing more groups like opposing it. And so that made me kind of look into it a little more. So what can you tell us about Amendment 3?
So Amendment 3 has been set up to try to be slick. Okay, so back in 2018, we voted in order for there to be a bipartisan, both sides understanding how the districts are drawn in terms of your Senate districts, et cetera, for the state of Missouri. And so we voted to have redistricting reform. So we had bipartisans, groups who are going to be looking to make sure that our districts were fair. Currently, in the state of Missouri, you have 70% of our general body, our General Assembly, which is the Senate and the House, are Republicans.
Okay.
And so the issue is that the maps have not been drawn fairly. So Amendment 3 is trying to now undo what we decided in 2018 to make sure that it was going to be that we were going to redistrict fairly with a non-biased third party. What Amendment 3 will do is it will now have the governor be able to decide who is going to be drawing these maps. So there's a couple points that I can read off to you.
Yeah, please do.
It changes lobbyist gifts by only $5 and contribution limits by just $100. So they're saying that they're trying to, clean up this, that, and the other, but they're only limiting contribution limits by $100. The bigger thing they're doing is they're reversing the voter-approved redistricting reforms to let lobbyists and political operatives draw incumbent protection maps. So that's what I just talked about. Now, Amendment 3 says that even if their political protection maps are unconstitutional, a judge cannot throw them out. So they're taking all the power away from us. No one, especially politicians, should be above the law. I think we can all agree to that, especially in this climate.
Yes.
So 2 separate courts have ruled that politicians broke the law with false claims about what's in the fine print of Amendment 3. That is very important. 2 separate courts have ruled that politicians broke the law. Okay. So this is very important. It is very important that we vote no on Amendment 3. It will hurt our communities. Politicians want to rig the system by making us the first state. We would be the only state to not count everyone in district maps. So it's very, very important that we vote no on Amendment 3.
Okay. Well, that is that on that. And I'm glad I've seen some signs around town, especially in the city, telling people vote no, it's a trick, don't fall for it. Just vote no on Amendment 3.
Yes. And some of the people that are, I was just reading as you did. You have former Senator Jack Danforth, who's a Republican. He says this is a redistricting scheme more extreme than Missouri has ever seen. You have people on both sides of the aisle from, Congressman Clay, Emmanuel Cleaver, the Attorney General of the United States, Eric Holder, the 82nd Attorney General. People from both sides of the aisle, former Senator Bob Johnson. All of these people, St. Louis Mayor Lyda Crewson, Treasurer Tashara Jones, etc., have all come out against Amendment 3. So this is not something that is partisan. It's something that, we as citizens need to make sure we vote no on.
It's amazing it even got on the ballot.
It really is. It's really sad.
Yeah.
But, That's why it is more important than ever that we exercise this right, and we go and we vote early, in person, with a paper ballot. And make sure that your family members, your friends that are already registered, make sure that they do the same thing. Pick up the phone, call them. If somebody needs a ride, I'm sure Friendly Temple will have a phone number.
I bet.
Goes to the polls, that y'all will send a van to pick folks up. I know Friendly Temple. It's an outstanding church. So, absolutely.
Yeah, and I ditto that same sentiment. Ask your friends, even friends who seem to be informed. Just ask them, have you voted yet? What's your plan for voting? When are you going to do it? Are you voting no on Amendment 3? Have you looked up the judges? Like all the conversations we should be having.
Yes. And it's interesting because myself, even as an attorney practicing many years, I wasn't even sure about how do you do the absentee, because they're always changing the game.
Yes.
So, just get on the internet, ask questions, ask Google, ask your friends, but most importantly, just make sure that you get out there and vote.
Yes.
Get with your associations that, I'm a member of Omega Psi Phi. I make sure that all my fraternity brothers are voting. And I know, Tiffany, you're a member of the Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated.
Yep. We are having those conversations as well.
Absolutely. We need all the Divine Nine. We need all of us out there. All of us. Masons, you name it. We need to be voting. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, any final words on voting?
There's never been a more important election, we've seen what is happening in our country, and we have the power to actually change things, and this is our opportunity. Our ancestors literally fought and died for us to be able to have this right. So let's not take it for granted. Let's get out there and vote. And
every vote counts. I think people sometimes feel, oh, my one vote doesn't matter. Oh, it does. You're one, and that person's one, and that person's one. Everybody's votes matter.
Absolutely. And for the Electoral College, there are other things at play. So yes, your vote does count. Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you so much for talking with me about these important issues.
My pleasure. It's my honor.
All right.
Why I vote. I vote because it's my right, and I'm privileged to vote. I vote because people have died so that I will have this right. And the shame is people are still dying. I vote because I want to have a voice. This is a critical and crucial election, and I want to have a voice in it. I want to change history and affect history. So I